Well, hello. It's me. Welcome to. I don't. I think that if it's more than two, it's probably not much more than two. But thank you to the two of you who are here. Um, it is the debrief, and yeah, welcome. If you have three, if you have any questions, go ahead and pop them in there. I'm wondering if this should be more of like a monthly thing, and recap a few of the shows and answer any general questions that are going around about the show. This week we did an episode on Bipolar 101, and I really dug it. I really liked Dr. Duckworth's story about his father and how he was always in the hospital in the year after he would win sales awards and earn a great big trophy. And finally, Ken figured out that it was something called Manic Depression because Ken entered in psychiatry, entered into the field to figure it out. And I think that's how a lot of people enter any kind of field, but in mental health care especially, to try to figure out, to try to unlock something that had happened in their own life. So I think that was interesting to learn about. We had Anna Marie Cox talking about her life with bipolar 2 and what it's meant for her and what it hasn't meant for her. I love her story about deciding that she was perfectly positioned to write a book about Easter Island, despite knowing nothing about Easter Island, and then bought a bunch of books about Easter Island and then realized she was not qualified to write such a book. So coming up this week is Stephanie Whittles Wax talking about her brother and me talking about my brother in an interview that's really more of a conversation than anything. And Sherry, really interested to hear about the family aspect. Yeah. Could look back and see patterns. I think patterns is a huge part of how this whole thing works. Like, as I wrote my book and went through therapy, I started seeing patterns of behavior and of just actions and decisions that had been taken. And I've always noted that when my kids started school, like in kindergarten, the first thing that they learned about was patterns, like to look for numerical patterns, even before they learned like addition and subtraction. It's sort of a fundamental of math and logic training is to look for those. So yeah, we have Stephanie Whittles Wax talking about brothers, and then the following week, Megan Devine talking about the arc of grief and whether any grief could really be seen as an actual mental health problem. You know, to react to the horror of loss by being horrified and devastated is something that a lot of people might associate with mental illness, but is in fact a sign that that things are working as they should, that the equipment is in place. So that's coming up the week after that. And from there, I'm going to try to figure out what's going on. We are thinking about, we did an interview yesterday with a pretty well-known comedy person whose name I don't want to reveal yet, who was just in about the worst shape of anybody I've ever interviewed. There was no indication of doing well at all. It's the first interview I've ever done where I had to ask the person if they were safe or if they were thinking about hurting themselves, and they weren't thinking about that. They were safe. But first time that question's come up in an interview. So we'll probably try to get that in there pretty quick. 'Cause we've got a lot in the pipeline right now. So I think we'll just end it there. I haven't had any questions come in, but thank you, as always, Sherry and anybody else who stopped in. I think summer is just a time where people are engaging with these things less. I think that happens all the time because people are outside and on vacations and things and concerned about grads and dads this time of year. All right, that's all for now. Thank you, everybody. Bye.